Hello again. So this is about sovereign citizens, and this is interesting because these people are essentially antisocial because they're anti-government, and the things they do, um, they don't make sense. They are like not. They don't want to pay taxes. They don't want to pay insurance for cars, and that of course means what happens in a car accident. But here's one interesting thing. First this. Oh wait, a bit earlier. This guy slaps with a stick. And then you look at that. That guy barely did anything and the window broke. It looks a bit like an automatic center punch, where you press on a metal like this, and then let's see if I can get it. I can show it. Where is it? Here, I think. Sovereign citizen movement, glass breaker. You have a glass breaker. That could be a hammer, sharp point, but there is also this center punch. This is a center punch, and you use a hammer to put to make a point, an indentation in a metal where you can drill, for example, so that your drill doesn't wander away, and you have a good, clear indication of that's the point where I need to drill. But this is a different one. This is an automatic one. What you do is you press this, and at some point there's a spring in here and a mechanism, and it gives a hit to this center point, and then you get, so either this way or with this automatic one, you just push down on it, and then you get this indentation. And this is actually the same, of course, as this. And let's see, go back to this. So this is interesting. This is the first time I've seen it. All these police officers should have these punches, these types of hammers, or these types of automatic punches in their vehicles, but I've only ever seen it used once. Here, excuse me, here's an interesting comment which says, technically this land never legitimately belonged to the people, I don't know. Is it so difficult to use another few extra letters, E-O and an L, E at the end? Jesus. Who currently operate a monopoly on violence and force that exploits the lower and middle class citizens. It doesn't exploit. That's complete nonsense. Via the largest privatized prison industry on earth. It all has absolutely nothing to do with each other. Prison industry and exploiting lower and middle class citizens, complete nonsense. This, of course, never legitimately belong to the people who currently operate the monopoly on violence and force, blah, 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 or just to call it what it is, the government. Never legitimately. That's the same as the Reichsbürger in Germany, which there was when was it? Last year or the year before that? That a bunch of them got arrested for wanting to overthrow the government. The Reichsbürger also believed, there was never a proper transfer from the government from the Second World War to the current. Like, what the hell does that matter? It's complete nonsense. As if some de facto you're in a government and you're in a situation, you need to deal with that. Don't whine about, it was never properly transferred from this to the new one. All irrelevant. And that's typical antisocial behavior, looking at specific rules and wanting to exploit them. This is also a sovereign citizen. He says, it is interesting, a counterculture shouldn't have to exist to challenge the current abuse of authority. Well, you can always go to court that resides in power. There's always a problem everywhere. Of course, there always needs to be a counterculture. If you don't like something, that's a given. What the hell? That being said, I think the man in this video is a poor representation of a person. See, he thinks in terms of sovereign citizen. Representation of a person. No. And is deaf. Yeah, he can't. He's tired in his fingers. Of course, we need to take that into account. Definitely no representation of the sovereign citizen movement whatsoever. Absolutely is. So these are another piece of idiots who don't want to open their window, don't want to talk to the police, etc. Give some kind of form that they show. All nonsense. True sovereign citizens fight the fight by changing case law. Many have successfully done so in the highest courts. Yeah, I don't think so. They probably did some things, had some court cases, and possibly won something, but not at all to do with what they're interested in. I'll come back to that a little bit later. They know that it's immoral and pointless to resist arrest on the streets, especially for violent offenses. Propaganda campaigns by state-run media would have you believe there's some sort of terrorist threat to democracy. No, they are time wasters. That most of all, they're time wasters. And they are, they're trying to abuse the system. In reality, the movement is a threat to tyranny. Yeah, no, not really. Let's go back to, which one was it? This one, yeah. Sovereign citizen movement. Loose group of litigants, anti-government activists. This is actually the essential thing. Basically, these people have an issue with authority and especially the government, and they're trying to frustrate the system. Some people make abuse of the system, or the perceived possibility to get around the rules. If, for example, they don't have the money to pay the car insurance or something, then they go these routes. But most of them, those are actually, I think, quite a large part. And then you have a lot of them who actually believe it and think this is all really true, and you don't need to do this, but you only need to think about one thing. What about if you don't need insurance? What happens in an accident? Are you going to pay for everything yourself? And the other way around, if someone hits you, does something to you, do you not care to get some kind of repayment for damages, etc.? Just antisocial behavior. What they care about is the now, not paying taxes. They can keep that money in their account, okay? And what happens in the future, don't care. Here. Sovereign citizen arguments have no basis in law and have never been successful in any court. American sovereign citizens claim that the United States federal government is illegitimate. Same as Reichsbürger in Germany, who feel the same. And these movements are really basically antisocial movements. It's actually very similar to BLM and their claims, which is just trying to justify crime waves as being necessary to make changes. They're antisocial movements. BLM should be forbidden, and those people who started it should be indicted for all the crimes that happened in the name of that movement, and they should be indicted for not doing anything, because those people who started that movement have not given any money to anyone who needs anything. They've only given themselves good jobs and their relatives good jobs, and they bought mansions with it. Yeah, that's it. It's absolutely ridiculous, all these people. And it's all the same. As I mentioned, once you see the patterns, you see it everywhere, the same. It's always looking outside. The government is wrong, we need to change it. Okay, what about yourself? They don't look at themselves. They think, okay, we don't need to pay taxes, we don't need to do this, but you're using the system. They're always using the system. And some of them even admit that they're faking in their own videos that they put in YouTube. Really, real idiots. Because then, for example, they say they're not driving, they're traveling, and it's not a car, but it's a conveyance or a vessel or something. And then in the conveyance, they talk to themselves, and they call it a car, and they say driving. That's so stupid. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.